Welcome to the Couch Co-op Podcast. Today, journey through this day in gaming history. Savor the clash of flavors. I like that. In Lord Beerstro's beer battle and share your gaming adventures with Try Play Beat. Nostalgia kicks in as we explore memories of the PlayStation 1. And stay tuned for the latest in mobile gaming with Aaron's Mobile Minute and a revised set of questions because I decided to get off my ass and actually contribute to the show. And then discover our ultimate co-optional picks and couch co-optionals, and we'll wrap it up with a round of trivia. Thanks for being a part of this gaming experience. The Couch Co-op Podcast starts now.
Now. Couch Co-op is full of douchebags. Couch Co-op.
Well, welcome to the Couch Co-op Podcast, everyone. So we have some of the crew here. We also have a bot joining us, Craig, which hopefully Aaron can get in because I still haven't expanded the the amount of people who can be on my channel. But so we're gonna start off with this day in gaming history.
Today, in gaming history, the original PlayStation launched in Japan. Happy birthday! It's the 29th anniversary or birthday of the PlayStation. That is the biggest one. I mean, if you want to know about game releases, I mean, there's some pretty good games that came out as well.
Do you know the timeline between Nintendo declining this the proposed Sony project and then Sony coming out with the actual PlayStation?
I don't, but I don't think the turnaround was very long because they already had all the technology. They just had to throw a box together and get it going.
Oh, really? So it was really the
the drive was there.
Oh,
they
wow.
had the technology to read it and all
Oh,
that.
wow.
They just had to
We have the technology.
make it work, and they did it. I mean, the Super Nintendo was out just, there was games coming out for it just a few years before the PlayStation came out. So I mean, it was still very early in gaming history.
And then what were the games that came out this what games launched with the PlayStation?
Super Nintendo, Super Castlevania 4 came out 32 years ago. I love the Castlevania series. That was one that I really played a lot of on the Super Nintendo. And of course, there was some like original PlayStation stuff, like the Ridge Racer kind of stuff. So that's probably the biggest two. The one of the ones that I really enjoyed that came out just a few years ago was Immortals: Phoenix Rising. In history, that's 3 years of history right there. But no, that's about it. The biggest thing was the PlayStation, but as far as I can tell, it didn't really have like a huge launch lineup in Japan or anything like that.
And did you already? I was busy trying to leave Aaron a message in case he decided to show up. But did you say what year the PlayStation launched in Japan?
I didn't. I said 29 years ago, which was 1994.
Okay.
It came out the next September in America in 1995.
I thought. Oh, I feel old.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you say that for every one of these things this day in gaming.
I remember buying the PlayStation, and I was all excited. I bought that. I bought like 2 games with it, and I brought it home.
You bought it personally?
Yes. And well, I had a job in high school. And so I brought the console home, and this is the first generation that came with not coaxial. It didn't come with that like coaxial plug like all the older consoles had. It had the composite cables, and I didn't know that when I brought it home. So I was pulled everything out of the box. I'm all excited to put it together and play it, and my TV doesn't have those jacks. So I had to go back to the store and buy an adapter the next day. So all that excitement got thrown down the toilet because technology updated. That would be like buying like a modern console and still having a TV that didn't have an HDMI port, you know, like, oh crap, I have to go buy some composite cables or an S-video cable or something, you know.
What kind of screen were you playing on? Like, how big was your TV screen?
I was playing on a 26-inch Sharp tube TV.
Nice.
Yeah. Nick,
sure it's nice and light.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thing's a beast. What kind of TV were you playing on back then?
Gosh, I don't remember. It wasn't that big because probably around that time I think I was still living with my mom, and they had a larger TV, but that was more for TV watching and stuff, and they gave some like hand-me-down probably like 17 or 18 inch TV that their big fear, they had a fear that the video games were going to ruin the big screen TV, which probably maybe in hindsight there maybe was that fear, and at the same point it's also just like, fuck them, I don't want them on this TV. This is our shit.
Well, the TV I had everything plugged into before I bought my own TV, because I had a TV that I put in my room and stuff like that. But out in the living room, I was still hooking like the Super Nintendo and all that stuff up to one of those big old like wooden box TVs, like furniture TV, like you see at the Portland Retro Expo. Yeah, we had one of those.
That requires a team lift.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm glad I never had to move that, but even moving that 26-inch TV was way harder than moving like a 50, 60-inch TV now.
Yeah, I mean,
way harder.
I mean, you can't see. I wonder if I can show it off. I mean, this is just a CRT that I bought in 2021, but
a CRT.
That thing right there,
70, 80-pound TV.
I don't know. It feels like it weighs a lot more when I pick it up. And to do back stretches afterward, it feels
back stretches.
Like, funny.
It's just like
get your leg lifts in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that's enough of that. We can move on to the next segment. John, what do you think?
What are we drinking tonight, Mr. Bierstro?
Well, it's another in a series of attempts to kill myself, apparently.
Oh
because,
man, you going high alcohol again?
Do you just keep all that high alcohol beers in the back of the fridge, and then you just realize, like,
show. Well, so what I do, and ever since, and this was probably 2008 when I first heard that you could actually do stuff like this with beer. I'll take some and I'll age them. I mean, anymore, I only age a beer for about a year, just because I just don't really have the room or the setup to like do like a proper aging where I can actually cellar stuff. But
what do you mean by cellar stuff?
Well, so in a perfect world, you'd have kind of like a humidity controlled, and this like I guess in the olden days you'd actually have like a cellar that you'd like go to. I mean, like where you put like wine or stuff like that and just kind of stick it in the cellar where it maybe stays like around 40 degrees.
Yeah, consistent like between 40 temperature.
Yeah, there's not a lot of variation. And it just stays nice and cool, and then you come to it maybe like a year to 5 years later. I mean, it depends on what you're drinking, but in the case of these beers, probably about 5 years. About aging is about the limit, I guess.
And what beer is this?
This will be Tough Love, barrel aged imperial stout from Crux and
Nice.
Bend. But yeah, it's usually around this time of year is when I start breaking out the stuff that I bought last year, and I usually just I'll usually buy one to drink immediately and then one to set aside for the next year. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm doing. But now that I have this segment, that's kind of what I'm using it for, to just like compare and contrast.
Yeah. That's
How do you
fun.
keep track of the aging? Do you just write a note and stick it on the beer?
No, but well, because these come out roughly at the same time every year, so that's generally just what I use. I mean, like last week when I did the Goose Island, that Goose Island always comes out Black Friday, and that's pretty easy for me to kind of judge like how old the previous year was. Is that answer your question, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
you just
'cause
have like you're just consistent with how you do. You buy
Yeah, well, I
beer
mean,
and then
and they also do this helpful thing too. Like, I don't know if you can see on the label here, but they also have the year. Like this one right here says 2022 on it. And this
Yeah,
one
of
says
course.
2023. Not all of them do that though. Sometimes they might still have a production code on there that I can kind of see.
Crack it open.
And
Open it.
oh, sorry, I'm talking too much.
No. John asks questions. You're answering them. You can talk and crack it open too.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
It's all good.
if you,
I don't want to drink
you-
alone tonight.
oh,
if you-
I got one too.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And if you watch Botchamania, they have a segment on there where they play some Run DMC, where part of the segment is "You talk too much, you never shut up."
That
But at
just
least
means
I'm
you
not
know how to
talking
have a
over
little more
John.
fun, I guess.
You know,
But at
Nick,
least I'm not-
I was talking to my parents about your tasting, and I'm not criticizing how you do it. I'm just asking, why do you decide to drink the one whole beer first, and then instead of doing like two smaller samples and then having like a chaser to cleanse your palate, and then you could drink both full beers, but then you drink one full beer first and then the other full beer second. How are you able to keep track of the different tastes and profiles going through your mouth if you're probably feeling the effects of alcohol by the time you're getting to the second beer?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about that. I think I was just more following kind of Ian's direction when it comes to that. Just because, it seems like he'd wait for me to finish one and then go on to the other. But at the same point, it's also, I've had like a few beers where you go to a place and they give you like a taster, and you take a taste of it and it tastes great. And I'm going to use this example that I always use for situations like this. Rogue Chipotle Ale. Get a sample of it. It tastes great.
Rogue Chipotle Ale?
Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of a spicy beer.
Was that a real thing?
I mean, there's been a few spicy / chili beers that are available.
wow.
I like a spicy beer, yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of the restaurant. Sorry, I'm not actually thinking the chili. I
Oh.
was like, there's some kind of weird
Oh.
brand.
I get
Oh,
you.
no, no,
partnership.
Crossing
It's-
brands here, yeah.
Not a co-branding effort, but that was kind of a learning experience for me, to where because I went and bought like a full pint and I didn't finish the pint because, well, it tasted like I really liked it at first, and
Interesting.
the spiciness of it just kind of wore me down, and I was kind of annoyed with it, and I didn't finish it. And that's just kind of where I learned it's like I can't do a taster. I need to taste the full beer.
Interesting. And would you
but,
say that?
But you're right because sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
like I
no, you're
always
good.
do.
Keep going.
But yeah, and then that's the other thing. It's you have something that's this potent, and it's definitely going to kind of throw you off, because I've even had a discussion like with that, like with somebody I knew, where we would have good beer, but at some point it's like you have too much of it and it's just going to dull your palate and stuff, and at that point it's just kind of a waste. So but if you're going to keep drinking, then switch to some cheap shit.
So, but would you say, in terms of how you rate beers, are you rating it more on drinkability? Like, if I enjoy this beer the whole way through, that's what I'm gonna put more points towards versus taste and mouthfeel and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, because I mean it's got to kind of be somewhat consistent all the way through, because I mean, like I said, I mean most people aren't just going to like have a taste of a beer and throw it out. It's got to kind of carry you all the way through.
Need the whole experience. It's
Right.
very precise and scientific, John. Come on.
I mean, I know I'm not
Just
wearing
like
my
the
lab
show.
coat, but
Yeah.
which
Yeah. You have to start putting your lab coat on every time it's your segment.
I know.
That'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome.
No.
What did I start with? Oh, I started with 2023, by the way.
Okay. How's that first couple sips?
Well, the nice thing is I've actually had them sitting out for about a week, and that's the nice thing about stouts is, especially imperial ones, you can drink these things at room temperature,
Yeah.
and they taste great.
Mm-hmm.
I've even left some out overnight, not on purpose, but you can come back to them the next day and just pick up where I left off.
Yeah.
Obviously,
do
I didn't
that
have any work
sometimes,
to
yeah.
do that day.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to try, play, beat. So I'm gonna go to you first, Nick, because you were very gung ho on the subject, because you managed to run the gamut. So you can go ahead and start us off.
Well, I only say that because it was like you guys, like the 2 times that I was off, like the last month, you did try, play, beat both times. I was like, damn it, I had like something for every
You had
So
category.
you got like a
I
month's
know.
worth of try, play, beat.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, it was like I mean, especially today because I went and bought like a couple like I posted one like that 99-cent racing game that I already forgot the name of.
Yeah. I
Was
saw
a
that.
racing game on the PlayStation or?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
for the PlayStation 4. It was 99 cents.
Like it was
Hot Shot Racing. Hot Shot
Okay.
Racing. It's actually available, I think, until the 20th or the 24th. I mean, it's regular price $19, but right now it's 99 cents on PlayStation Store, and it's actually fun. I mean, it kind of harkens back to like kind of a 90s racing game. I think I think one review kind of referred to it as like a Sega racer type.
It looked like a
But, I mean,
cell-shaded Ridge Racer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're not too far off from that, but I mean, it's I only did like a couple of races. Like I did a Grand Prix race, which it's like 4 courses. I mean, that's almost kind of like what you'd get with a Mario Kart. But I did jump in
Damn.
and try and play another version. It's called Cops and Robbers. I mean, you're basically racing the same course, but it's and you can actually take damage this time. But it's you're either in one of your street cars and you're trying to run away from the cops, but they can run into you and cause you damage, and then you blow up. And when that happened to me, I ended up spawning as a police car. Now I have to go chase after the other people that I started with.
That's
Oh,
fun.
is it like a zombies mode then?
Yeah, you all become
I-
infected and become police.
I guess at least until the last robber is destroyed.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I think on that one the goal is to make your way around a lap or
Oh,
make-
it's a free game
make
with Jared. It'd be a free game for us.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have to spend $1 on it.
yeah.
No, why you can save that $1.
I can save that $1 because I spent too much
Sorry,
money
Nick.
on my PlayStation subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet deal.
And then there was another game back when the first try play beat. Oh wait, I'm only supposed to pick one game, aren't I?
Go for it.
No, go for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
okay.
haven't gotten
Ian
to be
isn't
on the
here. We
try play
can
beat for a
we can
while.
break the rules when
Yeah.
Ian's not around.
Okay.
We'll do a special trip for you, Nick.
So because of the TV show, I finally went and I think it was Ian that suggested it, but I went and bought Twisted Metal Black.
Nice.
And that was interesting because there was a point somewhere in all console games, or at least all PlayStation games, I can't say the same for Xbox because I've never had one, but where it was all racing games have all decided like which button accelerates, and it's R2. But I forgot what a Wild Wasteland driving games were before then, because I jumped into Twisted Metal Black. I think it came out
like X?
2000. It was something. I just know it took me a really long time to figure it out. I mean, I only played about 10 minutes of it, and I jumped into story mode, but it didn't seem like there was a story mode because it was just all like some big arena that resembled like the monster truck area from Hell. That
funny.
I jumped in with like no knowledge of what controls or anything, and it ended about as you would expect. But I mean, I'd definitely jump back in and give it a try.
You may know my experience with that game.
I'm not sure I do. But
I got that game because I bought the modem for the PlayStation 2, and it came with Twisted Metal Black, so I put the modem on the back of my PS2 and turned the system on, and Black Smoke came out, and I never got to play it.
What? Oh,
wow.
wow. Was that common? Was that a common thing with the modem?
I never got to play my PS2 after that. It was
did you get
send a letter to Sony or anything like that?
No. I think it was pretty. Yeah, I don't know. That was a different time.
Did you end up getting a second PS2 or?
No, I think that was shortly after the PS3 came out, so I just bought that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I got it pretty late in its life. Like, I think I just beat like God of War 2 or 3 or whatever. 3, the last God of War that came out for PS2. And
it would be God of War 2.
Yeah.
God of War 3 was the PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah. And then I fried the system. It's funny, my PS1 got fried due to a third-party manufacturer's like controller. Like I put it on the system and it fried the system. And my PS2 got fried by a peripheral as well. My PS3 survived the whole time. PS4 is good.
Your PS3, is that like one of the fat ones?
Yeah, I had one of those. Yeah.
I got the yellow light of death.
Just because hard drive space and stuff. But that was your try. Yeah, Twisted Metal Black. That'd be interesting if that series ever comes back. Like
so
for that,
for Twisted Metal Black, do you control the camera as well, or is it a fixed camera that follows your car? Because you have the dual sticks, right? So what does the other stick do?
Guessing like in most racers,
I'm not
just kind of
sure.
look around a little bit. But it's because Twisted Metal games are so fast. I couldn't imagine having to control the camera and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, this was like nothing short of anarchy what I was dealing with, but I was trying to figure out how to shoot if I could shoot. I think I was shooting. I had some missiles, and I mean, I'm sure I taught that countryside a thing or two, but I didn't hit any vehicles.
So what were you playing this on?
PS4.
Oh, huh. Okay.
I mean,
but it wasn't optimized for PS4, right? It wasn't like a remaster. It was the original game that had backwards compatibility.
Yeah, it looked like the original game with backwards compatibility. And for some reason, I didn't think it was as old of a game as it was.
Yeah.
And had I known, I may have tried to get it for the PS3. But
that's all good.
Yeah.
Anything else you tried
Um.
that you wanted to talk about, or you want to go to stuff you actually spent time with in play?
Well, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Other
Yeah,
than,
okay.
I mean, I was playing Street Fighter 6, but I mean,
Oh,
if we
did you
want to
buy
talk
that?
about, I did. I bought it during the Black Friday
Nice.
PlayStation Network. I mean, I bought Diablo 4, that,
Oh man,
and Cyberpunk.
nice. Yeah,
So,
I still want Diablo 4.
but I really just spent. I mean, that's what I was kind of doing like the last hour before I popped in here. But it was really more just like setting up a Capcom ID
Yeah.
and just kind of going through like the tutorial and all that. And I'm wondering, is that going to be like a thing with? Because I think I had to do the same thing with when we were doing um, the, um, God damn, what was that other game I just mentioned?
A lot of games do have you sign up for their like
Yeah,
servers and stuff like
their
that, so you
own
can
Street
log
Fighter
in,
6?
cross-play and things like that. Even Rocket League has that, cross-play.
Right.
It's like a requirement, so you can have friends on that
Okay.
platform and bring them with you when you go to other platforms.
Okay, but also linking that account to your console.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, and it was Diablo 4. I was trying to think because I think I had to do the same thing
Oh, yeah.
with yeah, with that
Battle.net?
ID. Yeah, which, I already had an account from
Yeah,
Diablo 3,
yeah.
which that was fun trying to fish all that stuff out of the internet garbage that
I forgot my
it's sad,
password.
basically.
Yeah, and what did you beat?
Um, well, I beat Super. Oh, so am I just doing everything all at once, or were you going to talk about your try and John's
No,
try?
no, we're just going through it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, each
Well,
person.
so I ended up beating Super Mario Wonder like probably 2 weeks after getting it. I
Oh,
don't know
nice.
I don't know where you're at on it
I've
with it,
I've still
Jared,
only
but
played it the one time.
oh, okay. Um,
Jared's a busy man.
I
I
have
know
too
he
many
is.
games, and my kids are interested in one game
Yeah,
each right now.
that's all right. I mean, you know. Anyway, it was fun. I didn't beat it 100%,
Yeah, yeah. Collect
like
all the
even before I.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, well, and not to mention, like you remember in Super Mario World where that's that star level, and then if you beat like those secret star levels, you go to like a third secret area.
yeah.
I uncovered Wonder's version of that,
Nice.
but I haven't even really jumped into that yet, just because I figured that was going to be another so many hours, and um, but it was just kind of cool, just kind of seeing all the callbacks to like the previous Mario games, and even like some of the enemies. It almost seemed like either like an enemy or a feature kind of had its own level to just kind of highlight that, and I just thought it was kind of a nice little way to, you know, bit of a tip of the cap to um, some of the Mario games of the past.
Yeah, that's great.
But
I'm
yeah,
excited
it
to
was a
play
lot
it
of fun.
more. I don't get the Switch very often these days since Sky Children of the Light is on it. I barely get to see the thing.
Right. No, it
And
was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. Any final thoughts on Mario? Because that's one of those games that it came out, everybody was buzzing about it, but like a week later, just like any games media, boom, it's gone. There's only a few games that will stick for more than just a couple weeks. Mario disappeared very quickly. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's wild how much people loved
Right.
it, and then nobody's talking about it.
Well,
The
I mean,
new Zelda game kind of disappeared as well.
Yeah. Zelda disappeared too. Nobody talks about that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't
well,
even think of that.
that was kind of interesting because I actually just saw an article popped up on my Google feed about somebody who was kind of retracting their statements where they were kind of bashing the multiplayer aspect of Super Mario Wonder. Granted, they weren't quite walking back the online version of it, but they were just talking more about how they were initially wrong about the in-person multiplayer aspect of it, and I guess revisiting it, they
You
had a
never
lot
got to
more
play
fun.
that, did you?
The multiplayer version?
Yeah.
No. So I don't know what that was like. I mean, I remember playing the multiplayer version, I believe, at your apartment over there in Red Sunset when I brought it over, the Super Mario Brothers Wii,
Yeah.
and seeing how chaotic that was.
Maddening. You're bouncing off of each other, pushing each other off of edges.
Yeah.
None of that happens in Super Mario Wonder. My experience was that my daughter would just start running when I'm trying to collect something, and the camera would follow her.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't give you a chance to just do what you want to do. It'd make you turn into whatever bubble and pass you on. And she wouldn't collect me, so she'd fall in a pit, and we'd end the match. Because she's 4, so what can you expect?
Right. Why are you not an expert at this? Go put your nose in the corner.
You're supposed to be a pro by
Your
4.
motor functions should be fully developed by now.
Yeah.
But no, it's just to kind of overall sum it up, it's a fun game that, I mean, Mario enthusiasts may still enjoy. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that
now with these
look for faults, but
with these Switch games or Nintendo games, do they? I know they don't do achievements or trophies per se. It seems like they it just depends on the game whether they want to put rewards or something like that in the game. Do they have any trophies, or is there any incentive to do certain feats in the game to unlock certain things or to get points or whatever?
Not that I can think of. What
No.
do they have collections of stuff? I mean, you can look at your map and look at all the levels, and there's little check marks pretty much to check off. Like, oh, I collected all these. I got the top of the flagpole in every level. That kind of stuff. I mean, there's things and objectives, but I don't know about reasons to do it other than highlighting all the things.
I think they really just treat people like these are training for when you actually graduate to play an Xbox or a PlayStation. So it's kind of like when you're training or when you're an apprentice and you don't get paid as much. Then once you become a journeyman, that's when you start making the real money.
Funny.
I don't know. I just came up with that off the top of my head.
That's funny. And Nick, you did beat one more game. I'm kind of curious about this game. I've heard about it.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't know if I could actually technically count that as a beat.
It's a game. Yeah, it's fine.
It is a game. It has.
What is it?
It's called My Name is Mayo. You basically click a jar of mayo.
Oh, it's one of those quick platinum trophy games.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what it was. It's on sale for 79 cents right now, I believe. And it has sequels, which I will not be buying.
But you could get a platinum for $1.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't need a platinum that badly.
How long did it take you to platinum this one?
It took me a little over an hour, but that's just because I had to step away for a few minutes.
Okay.
But I mean, I like the idea of the silly story and all that stuff. I mean, it had 4 little stories, but I mean, yeah, you're essentially tapping on a thing of mayo. And with the story, at least it kind of dressed up the jar of mayo. Like, it was wearing a bikini at one point, and
so it
at
added
one point
condiments.
it went. I mean, you don't want to go in raw.
All right.
But at one, yeah, it's
that's
kind
probably
of dress
enough
it
about
up
that
and
game.
made up. Yeah, I mean, it's just trying to throw in some fun, quirky little things while you're clicking it. But once I finished all 4 of the little story arcs, I found that I was just over halfway through all the clicking I had to do to get to the platinum, and it was just okay. Well, here's tedious chore for another 20 minutes or so.
But you didn't even have to look at the screen. You could just kind of do whatever and like stupidly slap on the controller. And
yeah, but it was like, yeah, and I tried doing it left-handed at one point, and it's like the rate just plummeted. And then I put the controller down for a second and jumped on the iPad and like and picked it up again. And
funny.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting something a little different.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Nah,
hey, you
still whatever.
I mean,
you
beat a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yep.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But John, did you want to talk about yours next, or did you want me to go?
I mean, mine's pretty short.
Okay.
I think pretty much what I discussed last time. Because I believe
And I'm playing Tiny Tina's, by the way, so I'll just throw that out there. But
cool.
No big.
Yeah, I haven't. The only thing I've really been playing is just more Red Dead Redemption 2 online, because the game hooked me again because I played more than 7 days consecutively. So they have different tiers when you play consecutive days. So it's pretty much 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But each time you go up a tier, it increases the amount of gold you make. And so now I'm roped back in because gold is such a grind to get. But now that I played for 7 days straight, and now my gold has increased, I think 25% more or something like that. So now I'm earning gold way faster. So now I'm like, oh, okay, well, I want to. And the way you complete the streak, because you can't just log in and play, you have to complete the daily challenge, whether it's a general challenge or your specific role that you play. Right now I have 2 roles. So I'm a bounty hunter and I'm a collector. So I have my bounty hunter. I think I'm level 15 out of 20 or 25, maybe more. So I'm almost like I'm kind of reaching the second half of the bounty hunter role. And the collector I picked up. So with the bounty hunter, you earn gold and money. And with the collector, you primarily just earn money. So when I was going online and looking at which roles were the best to do, people were saying collector is the most profitable. You can make the most money out of, which is very true, because pretty much with the collector, you buy maps from her, you go out and collect random objects. If you complete the collection of random objects she wants you to grab, then you can sell them for a high profit. But you can also sell them individually. You just don't get as much because it's not a complete collection. But you can get multiples of the same piece, meaning that if there's like 7 types of liquors she wants you to grab, but I have 5 whiskey, I only need to keep 1 whiskey. I can sell the other 4. So if I need more money, I can just sell them that way.
So it's like the McDonald's Monopoly game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just hoping I can get someone who working for McDonald's, because then they can print out all the Monopoly pieces I need. So that's pretty much what so the game had roped me back in, because because now it's more lucrative to grind for gold, compared to, I wasn't really that interested in it. I kind of had a lull because I just wasn't earning that much. But now that I have these 2 roles and my gold multiplier has gone up, now I'm more into the game because I want to take advantage of my money-making capabilities. Even though there's no point. I mean, I'm just doing it for cosmetics at this point. Like, I pretty much have the type of weapons I want. I'm at a high enough level. I don't have everything unlocked, but I have what I need unlocked. So at this point, it's just making more money so I can buy better cosmetic stuff, and that's it. But it's still fun.
Yeah, so I mean that's why you're playing it, is for the fun. I mean, it seems like you don't have any specific goals.
No, it's definitely like a game I can just shut off my brain. I'm not thinking that because I have like other games I could be playing, but it would just require more of my attention. But at this point, I'm just grinding, so it's just a nice way for me to shut off my brain for a bit.
Cool.
So, if you have Red Dead Redemption 2, can you play online from that? Or because I've noticed, like, I think I was looking on the PlayStation Store when I was looking for these awesome 79-cent games. Red Dead Online was kind of like a standalone entry that you could purchase.
Yeah.
Is that just if you don't have the base game?
I don't know what the deal with that is. So I've bought this game 3 times already. I bought it when it first came out. I bought it for the Xbox, and then the Xbox S, and now I've bought it for my PlayStation. So I've bought it 3 times. The 2 times I've bought it, I've pretty much have gotten like their so-called Game of the Year edition. So it comes with Red Dead Online as long as it's with the story, but it also gave me some extra content for the online. So I got I got some free weapons, and then they gave me like $1,000 in cash I could spend in the game. So I don't know what you get if you just buy Red Dead Online. I don't know if they give you perks or if they give you that same Red Dead Online deal where they give you some free stuff and including cash. I would say you should just buy the game, the whole game, and then get everything. So, because the story, I mean, I really like Red Dead too. I know some other people on the podcast was disagree with that, but I really do think it's a great game, and I think Red Dead Online does have some short.
Sorry.
Screaming in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead Online does have some. I could see the criticism people have about it, and supposedly Rockstar has kind of abandoned the game because it's not the moneymaker they were hoping it would be for them compared to GTA 5 Online. But
maybe they just need to log in and become a bounty hunter after multiple days, like you.
Since you just mentioned GTA 5, I wanted to point out that this week the GTA 6 trailer is going to debut.
Yeah, there's so much buzz just over that trailer. It's kind of crazy. I haven't really seen that in a while. People just freaking out just for
there's
the teaser
no real
trailer.
Reason to talk about it because nobody knows anything. So what's the point? It's gonna be a game and it's gonna sell all of the copies, and that's all we need to say about it right now.
Yeah.
But just to circle back to Red Dead, because I didn't buy it right away. Because I got my PS4 Pro. Well, I mean, it was like maybe 2 or 3 months after the game came out, because that's when I got my PS4 Pro, and that was one of the initial games that I bought. But I've never actually tried to jump online or see if I.
Oh, if you want to posse, I got a couch co-op posse, Nick. I mean, Jared set the standard for character creation, so you just gotta match that.
Are you playing on your PS4 or your PS5?
PS5.
Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't even think. I would hope that you could play if you're on the PS. If you're on a PlayStation, I don't see why. Oh, okay, so you can play. You're right, because I'm playing. Even though I'm playing on PS5, it's the PlayStation 4.
They never released the PS5 edition.
No.
Right, but
so if you want to posse up, I'm ready.
But does it run any better on the 5? Maybe it's
a little bit better, but
I'm sure if you had a timer, it would load a little faster.
Yeah,
maybe,
but you wouldn't really notice. It wasn't, calibrated to work better with the PS5 or anything.
Well, I just want to avoid like what turned me off to the original Red Dead Redemption playing online, and that's having the same motherfucker kill me.
That will happen, but it's easy to jump servers. That's what I do. If like people are trying to harass me, rather than try to like escape the area, I just go to the online menu real quick and then switch servers, and then I don't have to deal with them. So
Yeah, so I just went to exit game and said "fuck you" and went to bed.
Because that is one criticism I do have about the online. They do have a defensive mode, but you can still die by players can still harass you. So the defensive mode supposedly makes you harder to kill, but in my opinion, it's very slight. Maybe because if they still headshot you with a powerful rifle, you're going down. It's not like they're wasting ammo on you. So that would be my only criticism. Well, not only, but that's like my one criticism that comes to mind about that. Their defensive mode is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, because it was super frustrating. Just I had a guy kill me, and then I spawned like not very far from where I died. So he went and killed me again.
Yeah,
and sure enough, I spawned like at the same spot, and it's like, well, fuck this.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to quit the game and load back in. I mean, if you can't, because that's the other thing. In order to switch servers, you have to go on the menu, but your character is still alive. And if you get killed again, then it takes you out of that menu option. So, depending on how fast, and it is hard starting out because you really do feel weak. I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily feel strong. There's I just feel like I can actually compete now because especially if and even you don't unlock a scoped rifle for I think till you're in around your 30s or 40 level, so it is hard to compete with people who have scoped rifles, because they can nail you, and that can be frustrating as well.
Yeah,
cool.
All right,
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, let me know if you want to play. I'm down because like they have story missions, and the story missions are they're hit and miss, but there definitely are some fun ones in the game. Jared and Ian and I played some of the story missions, and they were fun to play together.
Do they have fun little forts that you guys can take down too? Like I think in the first one.
Actually, yeah, that clip that Ian did where he like shot Jared with the cannon.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that's right.
That was the story mission.
That.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do have some of it. It's not a lot, but they do have some of that. Okay. So Jared, what is your try play beat?
So last night I tried a demo of a game that you can access with the whatever the top PlayStation Plus subscription's called, Premium, whatever. You can actually try 2 hours of Baldur's Gate 3. And that 2 hours melted away very quickly. I didn't realize 2 hours went by. And in the last 30 minutes, Ian jumped on to play a little bit online with me.
Oh, so you can do multiplayer with it?
Yeah, it's multiplayer. You can have like four people play with you. If you know 4 people that play it. I think you could actually have random people jump in too. But I just had friends turned on. Yeah. I mean, again, we didn't really get to play much because it took us a while to figure out. Like he joined my game and it was with a character. It was forcing him to create like another because my level was so low, I'm guessing. But I was able to join his server with a level 1 character, and he was way up there. But I enjoyed it a lot more than I anticipated because it has like that turn-based thing, the CRPG kind of stuff, computer RPG. With dice rolling and all that, a lot of D&D rules with the dice rolls, and it was a lot more fun and intuitive than I expected. And as I have been doing a lot on most of my RPGs, it's just putting it on easy to have fun, and I was definitely having fun. So I'm now more interested in playing Baldur's Gate 3 than I was before I played the demo. But it is currently still $70 on the PlayStation Store, so it'll be a while. But yeah, it's a time dump I will eventually spend time in. So that's my try of last night. And the things I played most recently, that I've talked plenty about Dead Cells, but I played more of that because I learned that the Netflix mobile app, you can get Dead Cells with all the DLC for your Netflix subscription and play it on your phone or tablet. So I just synced my PlayStation 4 controller with my tablet and was playing Dead Cells, jumped in the Castlevania part and got my ass kicked by some bats, and I still had a ton of fun. That game's just amazing, and I'd strongly urge anybody to try it with a controller. I tried the touch controls, and I just know maybe other people are better at touch controls on games like that, but no thank you. And last night I played because I actually bought it 2 weeks ago. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I got my character started up, and I'm ready to go.
Speaking of D&D stuff,
yeah. So I've always loved the Borderlands series. I've played all that, and now I finally got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'm pretty excited to play through more of that. It's more Borderlands. I played the Assault at Dragon's Keep? Whatever the original
Assault
Tiny
on
Tina's
Dragon's
one.
Keep?
Yeah. Back when that first came out, and when they released it free for, Borderlands fans, whatever they did with that DLC, because it's its separate entity at this point, and you can go and play the original one, and it was great. And I loved it, and this I know I'm going to love. So far, I've laughed out loud multiple times because it's just dumb fun with stupid jokes, and I love it.
There's a side mission that I just did fairly recently that I can't wait for you to try.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
if you grew up watching cartoons in the '80s, then
Oh yeah.
I think you might get a kick out of this. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
And
but,
then Ninja Turtles stuff shows up in like Borderlands 2, so I mean it's probably not far from that.
but I mean, how far into the game are you?
I'm like an hour to an hour and a half, so very early.
So,
I just
have you got
to the map.
Okay, so like the overworld map,
Yeah, I just got to the overworld map.
Or it does it kind of remind you of like Zelda 2 at all a little bit? I mean,
a little bit. I barely once I got to the map, I saved and quit. So I'll have more of an opinion on that for you. I'll probably just save that for just sending you a message or something like that once I jump more into that. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say not a question. It was just more of a statement. Ian actually jumped in with me probably a week ago, and we were like playing my game.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I mean, he's down to jump into a game. So I mean, if I'm not available, he is. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He tried jumping onto Tiny Tina's with me while I was creating my character, and apparently it wouldn't let him select his character. And he's like, "No, I'll just have to wait until you've gotten yours created." And
so
he was still in chat, and I just started hearing snoring for the rest of my game session. So. Yeah, he fell asleep.
Taking a good old Stella nap.
Yeah. He was sawing some logs.
Oh, well, why can't you do that on camera like some other people?
I know,
that we know?
right? Yeah, we need to make fun of him on camera when he's falling asleep in his Discord chair. But moving along, the game I beat, I talked about a little bit last week as Moss Book 2 for PlayStation VR 2, which is also on PlayStation VR 1. But for Black Friday stuff, I bought Moss 1 and 2 for $20 total, and so I couldn't pass that up because I will absolutely play through Moss 1 again. That series is amazing. I love the puzzles. They're not challenging or difficult by any means. It's just fun to do the puzzles that are in the game. I don't know, just exploring the world and finding like the little scrolls to complete, collections and the likes, as I find really enjoyable in that game. It's, you're a big dude looking down on a little world and helping the mouse out. You control the mouse, Quill, and it's such a wonderful adventure. And I love the story. The narrator is amazing. This one woman does all the voices for all the characters and the narrator, and she does such a fantastic job. It's just such a great experience. I want more, and it seems like there's at least going to be another, so I'm excited to see where that series goes.
Cool.
And that's all about all I've got. I've of course I've played plenty of stuff, but that's all I really feel like talking about right now.
So, Nick, have you tasted both beers?
No, I'm just about to finish the first one. And by the way, Aaron's not joining us tonight. I don't know if you saw. He left a message in Discord. He's gonna pass.
Okay.
We're not exciting enough for him.
That's all.
Even though he was the one who said he wanted to.
Yeah, it's all
do
good.
this.
It's all good. So
Whatever.
go ahead, John. You can go. Well, we've all been through our try play beats. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to ask if anyone had a mobile minute.
No, I haven't
'Cause I-
played other than
I
Dead
updated
Cells.
the questions.
Mm.
Nick, you're kind of the mobile guy too.
Not really, just because I play the same 2 games, and even then, it's really not even 2.
Well, we can do the mobile minute for the one game you play. We haven't done that.
Okay, I'm down.
Hell yeah. Okay,
All
Jared,
right,
bring up
well,
the.
better get the
Hold
timer
on.
going, huh? Okay.
I did update my questions because Aaron kind of embarrassed me with when I was asked, "Do you like the microtransactions?" He went, "No," and I was like, "Oh, well, that is a dumb question to ask." Like,
Yeah, nobody likes
Who-
microtransactions. Well, we
mean-
can Beerstro's mobile minute. We got this.
Beerstro's
Yeah.
mobile
It's got to
minute.
be the same amount of syllables. Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, name
Ebony, King's Return.
single,
No, I mean, no.
multiplayer,
Yes.
genre,
Fantasy?
advertising or word of mouth,
Advertising.
like the music.
Yes, but I still turn it off because I like to play in silence.
Like the graphics?
Yes.
Time played?
2 years?
Keep playing.
Yes.
How would you rate the user interface?
Thumbs up. Good.
1 out of 5 rating?
4.
Different game modes?
No.
Is it beginner friendly?
Yes.
Does it have a
And
progression
that's
system?
it.
Okay.
Mm.
So we got to like around 13 questions.
Hey, that's not
I-
bad.
I-
First go.
Yeah.
I love that. 2
And-
years.
Yeah, yeah, you caught John off guard a couple of times. Yeah, that's funny.
But I'm up
Right,
to
Beerstro's
25
mobile
for my
minute.
question.
That's,
Yeah,
first time.
Beerstro's
And
Beerstro's
I
mobile
think I think I answered one of those incorrectly anyway, but
Oh well, nobody'll know. But
Game
yeah,
That was good.
I
I
still
mean,
remember
there
seeing those
is-
like every other ad on Facebook was that game.
Yeah, they kind of
Yeah.
died down. I feel like I don't see them as much.
yeah, and I've said it before, but it's like one of those instances where it's like those ads actually don't even do the game justice.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they make it seem like it's a puzzle game, but it isn't. It's more like a
Yeah.
strategy game.
Yeah, I mean it's so much more, but whatever. And
All right.
actually, that's probably one of those instances where microtransactions. I mean, I don't hate them. I mean, they're there. You can engage. I mean, they have like little coupon events too. I mean, where you can get actually a pretty decent amount of stuff for just spending like $5 on a weekend.
Huh. Nice.
So what did you think of the 2023? That's what you had, right? For the beer?
Yeah, the first one was 2023. It actually was not as harsh as I was expecting. Not to mention for it being at 14%. Yeah, it was definitely not harsh at all. Like, cause normally like beers this high and this young will kind of have that alcohol bite to it, and this one did not. So that's like dangerous, man.
So are you thinking the
Playing with fire.
2022 will be even more mellow since it's aged?
Perhaps. I don't remember what the 2022 Fresh was like. But I guess we'll see.
All
I should
right.
put on my lab coat because I'm a scientist now.
So we'll do. So I'm thinking we'll do trivia, couch co-optionals, and then we'll hit you up last, Nick, for the.
Okay. Or did you guys want to talk about whatever Ian suggested?
Oh, the Game Awards
for
stuff?
next week.
Yeah,
I
the Game
mean, I
Awards.
haven't,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's up or what's.
I know
what,
Alan Wake 2 got nominated for a bunch of stuff, and but then it seems like not a whole lot. It's kind of dropped off in popularity. Like it scored well, but it seems like it kind of has dropped off in popularity since its release.
Yeah, like I mean,
Mario
like
and
every
Zelda.
game. Yeah, I mean, everybody, like, I wouldn't want to be in media because then I'd have to play a game really, really fast, get through it, and start the next one, barely being able to form opinions. You know, you just have to keep playing.
Yeah.
This, throw
Well, you don't
your
even have-
words out real quick, and
Yeah, you don't even have
it's
time to
wild,
finish the
yeah.
game.
Like I couldn't imagine being in that industry at this point because there's so much stuff coming out, and a lot of people are saying 2023 is one of the greatest years for gaming because of all the high quality games that have come out. I think it's the year of gaming with the most review scores that topped over the 90s. You know, they just mass amount of amazing games, and people were kind of forced to jump through and speed through a lot of these games because they just kept on coming out just in flurries. So many games.
Well, I think what's kind of
It's also an incredible year because it's a Call of Duty game that didn't get
yeah,
like.
Call of Duty is still a thing, and it's going to make all the money, but everybody doesn't like it apparently. That does reviews, but all the people that buy it every year are still going to buy it every year.
Oh yeah, I think it's still doing really well in terms of
Yeah.
sales.
There's people that just they don't pay attention to any of this media or any of the reviews. It's just like, oh, okay, that's my annual game. I'm going to buy my annual game, and there's millions of people like that just don't give a shit. And they'll play.
I'm sorry, John. I stepped on you again for the 87th time. So
that's
No,
what we do
it's-
here
it-
at Couch Co-op.
yeah, but
I don't think people are wrong by saying it's the best year in gaming. I think it just kind of shows the state of gaming that it's just kind of been a slog the past few years, and that it seems like there's been, especially Baldur's Gate. I would say Baldur's Gate is kind of a turning point where the developers said we want to make a game for gamers essentially, and it lived up to the hype, and it showed that you don't have to do these aggressive microtransactions that kind of turn people off or take the joy out of gaming. Like they were able to put all this gameplay and gameplay features and content into a game that unfortunately now would be monetized to hell and back, but they were able to show like, no, we can still release a full AAA game that people can enjoy and people are going to keep buying, and they made bank.
Yeah,
but I guess my
it's
question,
an indie team, so that's also really, really cool. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
owned by anyone, but yeah, so that's great. Good story there.
but are there any picks that you hope? I know you kind of pay more attention to it than I do, Jared. Are there any kind of games you're hoping win in the categories they've been nominated in?
I honestly haven't paid a ton of attention to that. I mean, all I could really kind of talk about is like Game of the Year. I mean, I think that's the more interesting of that. You know, everybody will look at who the Game of the Year is and stuff like that. Everybody's just anticipating Baldur's Gate 3 to win, which I hope does. The Larian Studios is such a great studio. I've played one of their games, but I was terrible at that game. That's why I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, because that challenge of that type of game is so high in my mind that I find it really amazing that they found such a broad audience for Baldur's Gate 3 and brought it into the forefront and made it fun. in a different kind of way versus just making it a super hard role-playing game for, you know, a very specific niche audience. It's more broad, and a lot of people have signed on to this type of experience. And that's the great thing about a game like that, is that it brings more people into the world of gaming that we've grown to appreciate in certain ways, as people talk about it in different ways. Maybe it's the stories that it tells and how varied everything is. Like, you can literally play it in your own way, and the story will just kind of adapt, and it knows what to do and how to react, and all the characters know how to react. So that team did this masterpiece theater type game, and it's going to be hard to top, even for them. I mean, they really set a bar that's almost unobtainable, and it's really interesting when games like that come out. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, there's other games on that list I want to play. I'm currently on my way through Alan Wake 1 because I've heard nothing but good about Alan Wake 2.
Oh, where are you at in Alan Wake 1?
I'm about 2/3 of the way through, I think.
Are you past the well, where did you last leave off?
Oh geez, it's been like a week, and I've played a lot of games in between. I can't specifically answer that. I went through a house, and my publisher dude was on the other side of the gate. What was going on there?
So, so you've been through the mental,
Yeah.
the clinic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just left the clinic. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. What are your thoughts so far?
The gameplay it's okay. I don't know if it's not really holding its own for this long of a game, but I'm really enjoying like the big moments and things like that. So that makes me really interested in Alan Wake 2, because it seems like it really connects all of that studio's works, because it has all that really weird, crazy stuff going on, like in Control. You know, you get used to all that stuff, and so it's just how everything's connected. I'm excited to see things that are familiar in Alan Wake 2 between Control and Alan Wake. So I'm excited to play that. Spider-Man 2 I still have not picked up, but I liked Spider-Man, and I loved Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2 I'm sure I'll like also. None of them blew my socks off gameplay wise, because I've verbalized that all the slow bits where you're sneaking around as other characters, that kind of burned me, and Spider-Man 2 I hear has plenty of that as well. So I'm not really in that. Resident Evil 4 is also on the Game of the Year list, which maybe I'll play that in VR. I don't know. I'm still needing to go through Resident Evil 8 in VR. I want to finish that before I even think about buying another. I've already played Resident Evil 4 back on the Wii, but the remake I've heard is really amazing. Super Mario Wonder is a Game of the Year contender. I hope that does not win. That better not win. That beats just stupid. I mean, Mario games are great and all, but there's such a cool mix of Game of the Year stuff that I don't know. Mario did some new things for Mario, and it's good because Mario's always good in some ways. But I don't think it should have been on this list. There's other games that probably should have made it on the list. I'm not going to name any games, but yeah, Mario Wonder is recency bias. I'd say it was very recent when they put this list together. It's a list that's not put together by Jeff Keighley and his team. It's all by magazine and website public people that do all this stuff. It's a big mess of people that put it together.
May I ask a question about something like that? You mentioned... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You mentioned recency bias. Because I think this is a thing in the movie industry where when it comes to award seasons, they may hold movies until it's kind of they'll hold
purposely
the release date.
movies.
Yeah, like closer to the awards. I mean, is this kind of the same deal in video games too? Like where they either think or have a good idea that they have a great game, but they'll hold it until closer to this award.
I get what you're saying, but I don't believe that happens in video games at this point, because video games cost so much to make, and they need to get that game out as soon as they can to get something
recoup
back
their investment
for all this work and effort they're putting into it. I mean, it takes millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, it's been out there that like some of Sony's top tier games cost at around $200 million to create.
Oh my goodness.
So some of these games just cost these companies so much. They can't just hang on to that when it's done. They like, we need to recoup some of this. This is expensive. And with all these games, amazing games this year, it's like it's so bizarre that all these companies are releasing these games, and there's so many companies that have had to lay off so many people. This is the highest year also of the amount of layoffs in the industry.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. It's so wild. Like every week, every day of the week, like weekdays, you'll hear of another company laying off hundreds or thousands of people in the video game industry right now. And it's stupid that it's also being called the greatest year of video games, but not if you're a developer. It's so cross and weird.
I also feel like Nintendo just doesn't care. I mean, in terms of them gain, I mean, I think they care in terms of, oh, this could potentially increase sales for Mario. But I just feel like as a game studio, they're really just kind of stuck on their own path, because it just seems like they don't care as much for updating their system or their gameplay style. Like they know what kind of niche they fit, and they're going to stick to it because people still go out and buy their games in mass.
Well, yeah, they finally hit another big hit of a system, and they're releasing just crazy popular famous banger games after one another. They're selling, like, all these companies like Sony are talking, oh, we sold 20 million or even less of this game. They're toting these huge numbers. And then Nintendo, they're like, Animal Crossing, we sold 53 million. It's like massive numbers of all their games. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, I've always kind of said, like, Nintendo's the Apple of the video game industry. Like, people will just buy whatever the hell they have, even if they don't.
And they don't have to put their stuff on sale either.
Yeah, they're not going to put anything on sale. If it is, it might be, instead of a $60 game, it's going to be $40. That's like the lowest they'll go ever.
Yeah, and actually, Super Mario Wonder, I was in Costco today, and it was $54.99.
And that's the lowest it'll ever be. Maybe it'll get down to 40. Yeah, they do drop some games, some $60 games down to $40. But yeah. So no, I mean, Legend of Zelda is still their only. Tears of the Kingdom is still their only $70 game. So that will never go below 50. They don't dip beyond a certain point. Like they used to do their greatest hits selections and stuff like that, like most video game companies did. The box came out as different graphics, and it was like their greatest hits edition for $20 to $30, whatever. It was affordable budget titles for people that can't afford all the new stuff. And the whole system is gone.
I guess to be a contrarian, to be fair, these are very similar prices to what we were paying back in the 90s for some of these games.
Yeah. I paid Chrono Trigger, I paid $70 for a Super Nintendo cartridge. Yeah. From Walmart. I mean, that wasn't some weird website or something like that. It was a Walmart. I went and bought it, and I was surprised it was $70. I'm like, I want the game. Cool. All right.
So at least on some level with the rate of inflation, especially with what it is now, it is still, I guess, we should be somewhat thankful that, I guess, game prices really haven't increased in price.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they would
I
absolutely
mean, it
love
still
to raise it
hurts.
more.
Still hurts, but I mean, it. On the other hand, it is still interesting that we're still holding on to some of these but like the $60-$70 price points that have basically existed since the 90s.
Yeah, but even then, it's like nowadays it's very rare for me to spend more than like $40 on a game. Like there's some games I might buy brand new, but it's much more fewer games that I used to buy at full price. I mean, the $50 mark, you know, I bought tons of games new at 50, and then 60, you know, it's like, oh, okay, every once in a while, and now it's 70. I'm like, I better wait till that's down to $40 before I buy it. You know, it's wild. I mean, money doesn't go very far these days because everything costs crazy amounts more than it did just like 2 years ago.
So I just kind of had a thought, and maybe it's like that pricing stays the same because it kind of aged with us.
Yeah.
So where we were more willing to pay that price for a lot more games as we kind of grew older, and you know, you had kids and so on and so forth, that you weren't willing to actually spend that much for those games. Now you're sitting here waiting until like a Black Friday sale or something before you actually pick something up.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like just sorry, this is kind of an observation sort of deal as I'm thinking. That's fueled by a year-old beer.
Yeah.
But speaking of beer, I saw you opened a little bottle of something there.
Oh yeah. One of these beers you gave me, the Russian River Brewing Company's, the supplication one.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Oh, that's great. Ale aged in Pinot Noir barrels with cherries. And, it's good.
Yeah, and gladly give up that Pliny the Younger or Pliny the Old, or all Pliny can go away. I think I'd rather have that.
Yeah. Well, this is more like a sour than like just a beer. It's
that's
like
fine,
more fruity than
everybody has IPAs. Nobody has what they've got with sour.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail into beer, but
no. Beer.
Well, speaking of beer, are you at the point that you could make a decision here?
I can make a decision, but I mean, I still have this much left of 2022, and that's going to be the winner this week is 2022 because all the flavors were just like a lot more pronounced than the fresh one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just
you picked the year-old beer last time too, right? The 2021.
And that's generally the case. It's just like the alcohol.
Taking a water break.
Yeah.
Hydration break. The alcohol harshness mellows. I mean, it kind of mellows like over time, but I mean, especially just over a year. But I mean, like I mentioned before, like the 2023, it didn't have it, but at the same point, it's got flavors going for it. But I mean, this thing probably has similar to same, like kind of coffee, chocolatey-ish, but they're just a lot more pronounced in 2022 than they were straight out from 2023. So 2022 is going to get the nod.
All right. All right, Jared. What's the trivia?
Oh, the trivia. Let's see. Let me pull that up. So, I'm going to throw some slogans at you, and you're going to guess which one belongs to the PlayStation 1, the PSX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? All right. So, I'm going to list 5 of them, and one of them is it. So, fun, anyone? Play has no limits. This is living. Do not underestimate the power of the PlayStation. Wear the greatest play. Which one belongs to the PlayStation?
I think it's number 2.
Nope.
Number 4.
Yes, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation. So, are you interested to know which ones belong to which ones? Maybe Nick knows. Fun. Anyone? What would that be?
I don't.
PlayStation 2. Play has no limits.
Yeah.
That's current gen. This is living. This is PlayStation 3, and where the greatest play is PlayStation 4. So I thought that was kind of fun. I did a little research for that.
Their slogans.
Well, I mean, each console generation has more than just one slogan, but like PS4 had not many of them. PS5 has so far only had the one, but there was a lot for the other generations. And like every time like a new model of the console comes out, there'll be a new slogan. Like the Slim model, there's probably a new one for that. So yeah, kind of fun little thing.
Was it PS2 that had the "You Are Not Ready"?
That was the PS1 because
okay.
It was "You Are Not Red E" and it's I forgot exactly. Like Enos Lives was one of them. That Red E was part of that. 9th of September. That was the word that it would be if the sleuths were digging it out, and it was funny. They really kind of encoded all that stuff in like to elite speak and nerd talk, like are you not ready and all that stuff. That was the first elite one speak. So you'd know what the red E stands for when like the E in Enos Lives, it was red E, and then N for 9th, O for of, S for September. That's when it came out in the United States. And, if you read it backwards, it looks like Sony. It's stupid. They really went nerdy with that kind of stuff.
Wow. All sorts of different levels.
Yeah, they went super nerdy with the PS1.
So meta.
But that like the PlayStation 3 had the stupid ass commercials, like that weird baby doll thing floating in the room. They had some weird commercials for PS3 that you should look at, like some weird playlist. It's like you'll close your eyes and blink, like what the fuck am I seeing?
Thank God I kind of like was kind of an early cord cutter and missed all those commercials.
Just look them up.
I remember the baby floating, and it's just like
they had several of the baby ones, and it's like this big empty room. They're a doll, and some weird shit happens, and it didn't make much sense. It really didn't, but it was their advertising.
Well, took their inspiration from Trainspotting.
Apparently. Yeah.
Have you both seen that movie, by the way, or
what?
Have you both seen that movie, by the way, or?
I've seen
long time ago. Yeah,
okay.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
When Obi-Wan was a heroin addict.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hello, heroin.
Yeah.
So Jared, what's your couch co-optional?
So I've been I bumped into a YouTube channel because of other musicians I follow, like Tina Guo and Lindsey Sterling and things like that. I like a lot of violinists, cellists, and things like that. And I bumped into a new cellist I never knew about named Mia Asano. Her channel is called Mia Asano Music, and she plays with the prior two that I mentioned. But the one that I really appreciate most that she plays with is Piper Ali. I don't know what her channel is exactly, but Mia and Ali play together, and Ali plays the bagpipes, and they do like heavy versions of like Fire and the Flame and stuff like that by Dragon Force. And Ali the piper is so good with Mia, and Mia is really talented as well. They do a lot of really cool.
But how are they on Guitar Hero 3?
Yeah, I know. Well, there's one that I bumped into that you would probably like. She did track playing the Undertaker WWE theme on electric violin. So there's stuff in there for you too, Nick.
Oh, party time.
But yeah, Mia Asano.
Yeah, Asano.
What about you, Nick?
So I went to lunch with the pre-wife today. We went to a little place called. I mean, this is gonna be like, I guess, two plugs in one, but just because to set the story, we went to this place in Lake Oswego called Hello Little India. It's a Indian restaurant, delicious food.
No kidding.
Yeah. But they were playing on their TV a YouTube channel. So I was just watching without any without any knowledge or anything. I mean, they were just like these wild and crazy music videos with a lot of synchronized dancing, and pointed it out to the pre-wife, and she's like, "Oh, that's Bollywood shit." And it's like, I don't know Bollywood stuff. So everybody probably knows all about this, and I'm a latecomer to the party. But if you go to Tips Official, it's a YouTube channel, by the way. It's got a lot of Indian music videos that I mean, they seem very. They don't seem very. I mean, they'll have like I guess Indian stuff in the background, but I mean, it almost seems very generic. But some of the music videos were like pretty silly, wild. Like when watching a guy like caress, like he's popping a wheelie on a motorcycle and caressing some girl, and then at some point they're in some lawn furniture, and that seems to be driving around. I don't know. I was so like entertained by watching this that I actually subscribed to it, and now I just can't wait to like kind of like check out like some of the other music videos just to like see what other nonsense there is on there, because I think there was even like another song where a guy's like riding like some mechanical horse. Well, not a mechanical horse, because it's like it's just kind of like up in the air, like it's bucking, but it's stationary, and he just kind of floats on with a bunch of synchronized dancers around. I don't know, just wild stuff, and it was entertaining. And
what's the channel called again?
It's called Tips Official, TIPS Official.
Okay, that makes me wonder if you've ever seen the movie on Netflix RRR.
No, I have not.
Do yourself
like
a
I said,
favor.
Yeah,
like I said, anything
it.
Bollywood,
It's long, though.
never I've only heard of the term. I'm not familiar with anything in regards
awesome.
to it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
RRR is on Netflix,
yeah,
I believe.
Go
Still,
watch RRR tonight or tomorrow or something.
Then maybe I need to immerse myself in any of that. But I mean, it was just it. There was nothing that I wasn't even sure I was watching like Indian stuff until I saw like maybe some backgrounds that kind of identified it as Indian. But I mean, they easily could have been just anywhere in the world. So I mean, I don't know if that's a positive or negative statement, but
I didn't take it in a negative way. No.
I mean, I guess I'm as a commentary on what I was watching, so to speak. Like, I mean, even if it was like something with American people, the videos would still be just as ridiculous.
There's multi ethnicities in the music video.
Yeah, and there's that too. Like I saw some blonde-haired people that looked like could have been from anywhere in the world that were participating in a lot of this synchronized dancing. But I don't know. There was just a lot of silliness and ridiculousness there. The music itself is fine. I mean, it's stuff that I've listened to before that I could listen to anywhere in the world. But I mean, it was just more the music videos that I just thought were ridiculous and fun. And
yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. It just provided me like a nice little entertainment while I ate my food.
While you were bored with your pre-wife.
It gives me
it's
something
nothing.
to watch.
No, well, it sucked for her because her back was to it, and it's like, hey, you should check this out. And I thought I was stumbling upon something kind of new, and she's like, oh yeah, that seems like some Bollywood stuff that I've seen. And then it was like my heart kind of sank a little bit. It's like, oh,
get with the times, Nick.
I know, yeah. It made me feel like an old codger. It's like, oh, I mean, because I've heard the term Bollywood before, and I don't know if anybody. What was that like really popular movie that came out? Like I think 2008, 2009.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie, and I don't know if that was kind of a product of that or whatever.
saw
But
that.
I think they've kind of my interpretation of why Bollywood has exploded is pretty much what you're saying, Nick. It's so outrageous and just entertaining as a spectacle that it's just and they have such high energy and it just makes it exciting to watch.
yeah, I mean it's fun, and it's like I'm not like maybe I'm poking a little bit of fun at it, but I mean,
Oh, I think
but
they know what they're doing. They know it's
okay.
cheesy. I think they Bollywood has kind of it's its own thing and they've discovered their own niche.
So they're self-aware.
I think that's a
Okay.
safe assumption to make.
Okay. Well, it's like I don't want to sit here and like oh look at this and look at this culture.
Well, especially once you start watching RRR, if it makes more sense that they made the movie as it is for fun, but if the filmmakers are it would be more alarming if the filmmakers were totally serious how they made that movie instead of them being in on the joke. Would you agree with
Okay.
that, Jared?
I don't know about the joke. I mean, it's a really awesome action film.
Yeah, but do you think they're
With
doing it a lot of stuff tongue in cheek, or do you think they're very serious about how they made the movie?
they knew what mood they were setting.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, there's a lot of self-awareness there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Again, do yourself a favor. But John, what's your couch co-optional?
It's so Amazon has a service called Amazon Freevee, which is I didn't know Freevee was owned by Amazon,
Me
but
neither.
apparently it's owned by Amazon. So it's an ad-supported streaming service that's on Amazon Prime. They have a reality/scripted show called Jury Duty, where the premise is they take the whole cast is essentially actors. They do a courtroom drama, except one person is a reality person, meaning that it's just one random person they just casted, but the person doesn't know it's a TV show. They think they think they're doing a jury duty documentary.
Huh.
So the whole and it stars James Marsden is the face of the show. So that's only
Cyclops?
recognized. What? Cyclops? Yes.
Cyclops?
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
At one point like they have this black bailiff woman and she's like, can you get X-Man to come in here, like so that was funny. But yeah, it's the premise. So that's the premise, is that one random guy thinks he's in a documentary about jury duty, but everyone else is an actor and the show is scripted to a certain degree. But the episodes are like half an hour long and it's like 8 or 9 episodes and it's pretty funny. And I think the producers are like some of the producers are from The Office, and it definitely has that Office feel within terms of how they're interviewing the actors and even the main non-actor guy. But it's a great show. So I would really, and Freevee is free, but it's ad supported.
Yeah.
And it's on Amazon Prime.
Cool.
All right, guys. So that's the show. I want to
Yay.
thank
Roll credits.
Jared,
Woo.
Nick, and Craig. If we're able to get the video.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Craig.
The video
Over here.
should have Craig in it. Yeah.
You're my boy, Craig.
He
For-
looks like a little teddy bear for the audio listeners with a
Yeah,
microphone in front
yeah.
of him.
He sounds
Craig-
like the narrator from Halo when he was like recording. Like
Yeah, that's all he said. Recording.
like to thank
He
y'all.
didn't sound like anything from Half-Life. That would have been scary.
I'd like to thank y'all for being on the show. You can follow us at where, Jared?
That one place.
Okay. That1place.com.
Graham Tur.
Nobody cares. It's all good.
That one place. You can email at Gmail, no hyphen. Did I cover all the bases?
Yep.
Anchor.fm if you want to leave a message for me.
Oh, well, no, they would do it through wouldn't be through, it would just be through Spotify now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that company got bought up by Spotify.
Well,
All right.
somebody has dated information.
All right, guys.
But then again, I just learned about Bollywood, so whatever.
All right.
So we'll see y'all later.
Be excellent to each other.
Bye.